Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a positive and productive day so far. My name is Kel with the Planner Isle, and today I'm diving into the world of functional stickers and breaking down all of the ways that you can use them to elevate your planning routine in 2024. I'm also going to share a few of the differences between functional and decorative stickers and a few pros and cons of using stickers in your planning system and going over some alternative methods if functional stickers aren't for you. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Vicky for suggesting this video. If you have any topics that you'd like for me to include in my next video, make sure to leave me a comment. As always, I will be including links to the products I use down below, and let me know if you have any questions. Without further ado, let's hop in. So when most people outside of the planning community think of stickers, they think of fun, bright color stickers that you used to use back in school to decorate your desk and things, or maybe the kids' school projects. For those of us in the planner community, we of course know that stickers can serve a much larger purpose. So typically when talking about planner stickers, you group them into one of two categories: functional stickers and decorative stickers. You can use either or in your planning routine, or you can mix both together. My planning system is very functional, so I don't use decorative stickers all that much, but there are some ways that you can incorporate decorative stickers in your functional planning routine, which I'll talk about towards the end of the video. Before we hop into the pros and cons, I want to break down what functional stickers are, how I use them in my agenda, and a few ways that you can use them in your daily scheduling as well. So the purpose of functional stickers is to help you manage your time, prioritize your tasks, and to just provide more structure and organization to your day. They come in a huge variety of styles and shapes and colors, and each will be better geared for different areas in your planner, depending on what your intention for your planner or planner section is. So taking a look at some of the most common styles, dot stickers are by far the most used functional stickers, especially transparent dots. You can use these to highlight dates or appointments, mark holidays or birthdays. They also work great on spreads where you can't physically write. So this could be some styles of vellum or hard plastics or anything else where the surface won't hold ink. I use these in a number of ways. I like to use them here on my yearly to highlight important dates. I love using this at a glance to see what's coming up and dates where I need to plan around. As you can see, there isn't much space to write, so using transparent dots, it allows me to very quickly see what date that I have something going on. This is also a great place to color code with your dots, although I don't recommend using too many colors. Color coding is an excellent way to categorize, but it's also very easy to overdo, which can end up having the opposite effect. Another downside of using too many colors is color scatter, which is what happens when your eyes can't really focus on one point, but on the page as a whole. This is great with things like art, where the intention is to take in everything at once before breaking it apart, but for planning, the intention is to find what you're searching for as efficiently as possible. How many colors that you should use will depend on what it is that you're categorizing, but a good rule of thumb is no more than 5 categories per 20 items. Keep in mind, this is for main categories, not subcategories. Subcategories work a little bit differently, but those are typically only used in supplemental areas like finance or DIY areas, so I'm not going to dive into that too much in this video. Similar to my yearly, I use transparent dot stickers in my quarterly planner to mark other important dates and work deadlines as well. On my monthly, I use them to mark bills and other urgent work to-dos. Similar here on my weekly, I mark out of office requests and any other reminders or deadlines. And then these little tiny ones I use to mark partner meetings. In my content planner, I use transparent dots to label the platform and type of content posted on my publishing calendar. I don't use them in my yearly wellness section, but in my supplemental wellness planner, I use this really light purple to mark the days that I exercise on my monthly and weekly spreads. Flipping to my expense tracker, this is another place where I color code, but to make it easier to identify each expense type, I use dot stickers for reimbursable expenses or those I paid for with cash or a check, and then for sinking funds or business expenses, I use these corner stickers, which I'll get to in just a second. Some other ways that you can use dot stickers is to make lists or notes. This is a really great idea for bullet journaling or other spreads where you create your own layout. You can use them in notebooks, journals, wall calendars, and desk calendars, and just about anywhere else that you need to mark a date or maybe an event or activity that you need to reference. These are a few of my favorites. I like smaller dot stickers. It tends to match my handwriting a little bit better, but you can play around with different sizes. If you have larger handwriting, you may prefer larger dots. When choosing which dots to use, I highly recommend that you don't mix and match too many sizes in the same spread. When you do have a bunch of different sizes of the same style of sticker, it can look really cluttered and disorganized. And again, the goal of dot stickers, or any functional sticker for that matter, is to help you prioritize and organize your day. If you have too much going on your spread, then they won't be serving their intended purpose, which can lead to you not wanting to really look at your page and abandoning your planner altogether. That's one of the reasons why I like to use a few different styles of stickers in my routine. It's the best way that I've found to guide you to the areas on your page without risking the overuse that can sometimes happen with singular styles, and that brings me to corner stickers. So corner stickers are a great one to use for reminders, and they also work great for categorizing as well. If you use them alone, you could essentially use them the same way that you would dot stickers. The main limitation is that with them being triangles, they tend to look better in a box or a frame or somewhere with a border where you can clearly see the date that it corresponds with. So for me, I use these in a few different ways. On my monthly, I use them to mark days off from work, and on my weeklies, I use them to mark days that I have bills that need to be paid. Another great thing about these is that you can use them along with your dot stickers to mark different items on the same date, which happens quite frequently on my monthlies. Flipping to my finance section, I like to use these on my overview pages to mark which categories are business expenses. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I also use them in my expense tracker to highlight expenses coming from my sinking fund and those that are business expenses. Again, you can use these in many of the same ways as dot stickers with just a few limitations due to its shape. These are a few of my favorite corner stickers. A lot of planner shops sell these, so definitely shop around when you're looking. If you're looking for corner stickers for a specific purpose, make sure to check the dimensions. Unlike dot stickers, if you're using these to fit in a box or within lines, you want to make sure that you don't get them too big so they don't overlap your section. If you do end up purchasing one that's too big, like I did here, you can always take your snipping tool and a ruler and trim off the edge, or cut it off beforehand with scissors. Icon stickers are probably the most used stickers for functional planning behind dot stickers. The great thing about them is that because they're symbols, it's a perfect way to state what an activity is or what you need to do without having to physically write it out. If you're not a fan of writing a lot, or if you have limited space, icons and symbols can help you situate your daily tasks a lot easier. Now, similar to dot stickers, you do have to be careful not to go overboard, especially because they're icons for just about everything. I recommend choosing no more than 5 or 6 daily or weekly icons per section just to keep things nice and cohesive. If you have things that happen every now and then, you can certainly use those as needed, but essentially you don't want to use like 10 different icons for 10 different activities that are happening multiple times per week. I did manage to use quite a few icons last year, and it got very overwhelming for me, so this year I've really dialed down the number that I use. On my monthly spread, I use these birthday and appointment icons a lot. In my weeklies, I use them to mark various types of meetings. In my job, I'm in meetings throughout the day, so most of the icons that I use help me differentiate between the type and importance of each meeting. So most of my meetings I just mark with a bullet point, but anything that requires me to do work or prep beforehand, I mark with this list icon. These calendar ones are for any meetings with leadership. I mentioned these when I spoke about dot stickers, but I like to use these tiny dots for partner meetings, mainly because they're super important and I really need them to stand out. Outside of meetings, the only icons that I use in this section are these laptop stickers, which I use to mark days I publish YouTube videos, birthday icons, which you've seen in my monthly, and then I haven't used any yet, but I plan on using these little paper clips to mark appointments. I also use a couple in my wellness planner. These little heart icons mark my mood, and then I use the weight or the dumbbell to log my weight for the week. So those are the only icons that I'm using in both of my planners this year. Last year, it became really difficult for me to remember which ones were for each activity, and I ended up spending a lot of time trying to find the right one, which wasted a lot of time. So I'm really excited to play around with this new method, and I think it's really going to help streamline my routine, especially during my workday. I don't use most of these anymore, but these are some of my favorites that I've collected over the years. Similar to the others, these come in a lot of different finishes. If you're not sure which to choose, I would purchase single sheets or samples if you can. A lot of shops now include icon freebies or they'll send you samples to try before you purchase. So if you have that option, I would definitely try that first. You may like the look of a shinier finish but the feel of a matte. So playing around with the different styles and textures is a great way to get the most out of your purchase. Another thing to consider that I didn't mention earlier is you always want to check if a sticker is repositionable. I've made that mistake a few times where I've purchased stickers with permanent adhesive, tried to move it, and ripped my page. So along with checking the dimensions, you'll want to make sure that you can always move it later if you change your mind. Drop stickers are essentially enhanced dot stickers that have been around for a while now, but I'm starting to see more and more shops really expand their lines. So similar to the others on the list, these stickers also come in a variety of styles and colors. I really love the look of these. They're still minimal and simplistic, but they add just a little bit of flavor to your page while still remaining functional. I haven't used any in my agenda this year, but I plan to use it similar to how I used them last year, which was to mark special events or parties or other fun things that may be going on throughout my week. Text stickers are another functional sticker that's been around for a while. So similar to your icons, they're very clear in their purpose, so you don't have to worry about finding ways to use them. I don't use many text stickers in my agenda, but I think that these work great for areas where you either don't have space to write, don't like your handwriting, or just want an aesthetic look to text that you use often. The only one that I use in my agenda right now is this payday sticker, and then I use a different payday sticker on my wall calendar. Another good use for these is in place of something that you may mark with a different functional sticker. So for example, instead of using a dot or a corner sticker to mark payday, you can use a text sticker that says payday instead. Same thing with bills or meetings or really anything else schedule related. So many shops carry text stickers now, so you really have a lot of options when deciding which stickers you prefer to use in your planner. Other text stickers that I include in this pool are action stickers, and these tend to be more on the decorative side, but still have a functional purpose. So these are those stickers that have decorative text or have an area where you can write in your text directly on the sticker and are typically designed for specific purposes. So for example, this could be stickers where you write daily highlights and reflections, designs with habit trackers or to-dos. I have some here for notes, affirmations, general checklists, and priority lists. These are several different styles for meetings and to-dos, schedule, work, projects, and just about any other area that you can think of. One area where I see a lot of dedicated action stickers are around fitness. So here I have several stickers with space to log your fitness and health info. You can log your steps and miles and just so much more. Again, these are more on the decorative side, but if you do want a pop of color or if you're using a bullet journal or other supplemental planner as a fitness log, then using action stickers may give your agenda the splash of color that it needs to keep you motivated. Some other common functional stickers are shape or abstract stickers. These are good to use for anything that's an outlier or if you want to switch up the design in a particular section. So for me, I use these little hexagon stickers at the front of each month to list affirmations. I also use these tiny little page flags on my weeklies to mark a group set of meetings. So similar to my partner meetings that I mark with these tiny dot stickers, I like to use different styles of stickers for these meetings because each group set only happens once a year and have deadlines, so I physically check them off as I go. For me, there's 4 main groups of meetings that fall into this category, mainly my career conversations and performance reviews, but because these are high priority, I like it to stand out from everything else on my page. Other than that, I don't use too many others in my routine. I do have a few here. Most of these are freebies or came with other orders. I also have a ton that came in sticker books that I used a lot back when I was bullet journaling a lot more. I may end up using some of these, but if I do, it'll probably be in my notes section where I'm listing miscellaneous things, but not in my main sections. For my daily planning, I don't really have a purpose for them, so they'd end up just causing clutter. The last functional sticker I want to mention before I hop into some of the pros and cons aren't really stickers per se, but I use it in the same way, and that is washi tape. Washi tape can be used for just about anything you can imagine, but for me, I like to use it to mark extended time off or vacation on my monthly spread, and on my weeklies, I use it for the same thing as well as single days off, unlike on my monthly where I use corner stickers. If you use a horizontal layout that's not pre-sectioned and you aren't a big writer, you can also use washi to split the day into sections. That way you can have a similar setup to the one here to help separate different activities during your day. Both washi and paper tape come in a ton of different colors and sizes and designs, so you have a lot of options when choosing which style you want. For me, I'm a fan of super thin washi. I don't like it taking up too much space on my page, and it allows me to use other stickers in the same section if I need to. Another great thing about washi is that it's perfect for covering up mistakes. If you write a meeting on the wrong day or something and you don't want to use whiteout, you can just cut some washi down to size, cover it up, and you're good to go. So these are just a few of the most common functional stickers that I've seen recently and the ones that I tend to use the most. There are so many more out there and so many additional ways that you can use them. For me, I love using them throughout my agenda to help me find what I'm looking for, and I love the aesthetic, but I'm not using nearly as many as in previous years to really help me hold my focus and keep my agenda as minimally designed as I can while still satisfying my personal aesthetic. So now that we've gone through some of the most popular styles, let's talk about some pros and cons of using functional stickers and why they may or may not be the best choice for you. So I spoke about this a little earlier, but one of the best things about functional stickers is their ability to save you time. So this happens in a couple of ways. One way is by reducing the amount of time that it takes to physically write out your tasks. So this happens a lot with your labels or text stickers or with icon stickers that mark types of meetings or appointments. Using a sticker for multiple appointments is a lot quicker than writing out that appointment over and over again, especially if it's something that's recurring. Another way that it saves time is when you're using your planner throughout the day. If you're checking in to see what appointments that you had that afternoon, it's much quicker for your eye to spot a sticker in the midst of a lot of text than to read through a lot of text to find what you're looking for. The second benefit to functional stickers is visually seeing your schedule in an organized format that makes it a lot easier for your brain to capture information. Looking at my schedule when it's neat and orderly, it just makes me that much more attentive. On the flip side, when my spreads are really messy and unstructured, I don't really want to look at my planner, which is obviously not great for productivity. Functional stickers help so much when it comes to organizing my days, especially during busy seasons or those weeks where you just have a lot going on. On days where each line is full of text, it's so nice to have a sticker to help label some of those items so A, it's easier to find what I need, and B, my page looks nice and tidy. The third pro ties in with organization, and that's prioritization. You see this a lot with dot stickers, especially if you color code. It's a great way to see your most important tasks and urgent information at a glance without having to waste time reading through each line to determine which one should be completed first. You can also use these strictly for planning things out chronologically, which could be super beneficial for things like planning events or making an outline for special projects or parties, or for your daily routines like cleaning or shopping lists. Another great thing about them is the ability to express yourself and add a little color and personality to your agenda. One of my favorite things about functional stickers and functional decor in general is being able to have an intentional focused planner with subtle design that still reflects my interests and my aesthetic. I love nude and earthy palettes, so most of my stickers reflect that, but that's my personal style and my preference. Whether you like brighter colors or a very minimal black and white look, functional stickers give you that flexibility to use color and style and design and shapes in whatever way that you see fit. So now let's talk about a few of the downsides. So the first con of using functional stickers is the cost. Now this will vary depending on how many stickers that you purchase and how often that you use them, but if you use them pretty regularly, at some point you will have to replenish the ones that you've used. Sometimes it can be easy to forget about the cost, especially because single sticker sheets themselves tend to be less expensive than other planner accessories. But once you have to buy 4 or 6 new sheets, it can add up very quickly, especially once you factor in shipping. So to combat this, I have a few solutions that I use that have helped me save quite a bit over the last year. So first is to buy from shops that have a lot of stickers on their sheets. When you're shopping, make sure that you're not looking at just the price, but also how many stickers that you're getting. You see a sheet of dot stickers for $5 and then another one for $8 that look the same, but the $5 sheet may have 20 stickers while the $8 sheet may have 50. Depending on how many you actually need, the 50 count pack will probably be the better value for you. The second tip is to buy in bulk to utilize coupons. A lot of shops, especially on Etsy, will have discounts if you purchase so many sheets. If it's a sticker that you use all the time, then definitely take advantage of that. On the opposite side, don't purchase stickers just because they're on sale. That's a very quick way to wind up with a lot of supplies that you just don't need, and it's an easy way to clutter up your space and can lead to overspending. The third tip is the easiest and the hardest at the same time, and that is to simply limit the number of stickers that you use. I reduced my number quite a bit from last year, and that in itself has saved me quite a bit of money. You can do a lot with just a few stickers and your pen and highlighter, so if you do use a lot of stickers in your routine, cutting back may be a good place to start. The second con ties into the third tip I just mentioned, and that is the risk of clutter or overcrowding on your spread. It's very easy to get carried away using stickers, and doing so can turn into your page becoming a big sticker sheet with a little writing on it, which defeats the purpose of a functional schedule. It also can get very expensive if you're just flooding your page with stickers each day, and can make it hard to remember the meaning behind each icon or symbol that you're using. Keep in mind, functional stickers are intended to provide clarity, but not to take over in its place. That is, unless you're sticker planning. Sticker planning is not something that I have much knowledge on, so I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but just remember that in general, we want to use stickers to help our day run smoother. If you go overboard, then you put all of that hard work and all those diligent plans in jeopardy. The third con is more of a learning curve, but can also apply when moving into a new planner or if your planning style changes, and that is the amount of time that it can sometimes take when you're planning out your days or months and incorporating stickers at the same time. So this can happen when, you're trying to plan something really quick and you move to the next line and you're trying to find an icon for your team meeting, and then you go to the next line and you can't remember which icon that you used for the vet appointment, and then you need to schedule a call with your dentist, but you don't remember if you used the phone icon or the doctor icon. Then you have to dig through your drawer to find the orange dot sticker to mark your day off. Planning your day is now taking longer than just writing everything out by hand, and probably making you really frustrated. This is a really common problem and an easy situation to get pulled into. One of the best ways to combat this is to minimize how many stickers that you use, and don't use a different sticker for every area of your plans. So for example, if you're in a role that's not meeting heavy, then pick one icon for meetings, or don't use icons at all and just make a bullet point or a line with your pen and use your one icon for appointments instead. Maybe you don't use icons at all and you just stick to a sheet of dot stickers with maybe 3 colors total. One for meetings, one for appointments, one for events, and then everything else is just your pen. There's a lot of ways to customize, but essentially you want to simplify the time that it takes when actually writing out your plan for the next week. The second tip is for the stickers that you use frequently, to always use stickers that can fit in your planner, even if you have to cut them down to size. That way you never have to worry about looking for your stickers in the middle of planning. And the third tip here is to try and pick your stickers on a combination set from one sticker shop for each style. So for example, these are the main icon stickers that I use, and they're all on one sticker sheet. I'm not having to carry around 6 different sheets. I only have the one. That makes it much easier when I'm planning on Sundays. I just pull this one sheet of icons out and I'm good to go. Same thing with my dot stickers or any others that you use a lot. You won't always end up with one sheet for each style, but the idea is to minimize the number of physical sheets that you're reaching for. Another frustrating part of using functional stickers is the fact that there are so many choices out there that it can be difficult to make a decision, and then once you do, it can sometimes feel like you should have gone with the corner stickers instead of the dot ones, or maybe you should have picked the tan ones with black text instead of the brown ones with white text, and so on and so forth. I think at the end of the day, it's important to play around with different colors and textures, try different styles, and see what works for you. I mentioned this a little earlier, but everyone's planning routine is going to look different. So I think a good rule of thumb is to think about your list of priorities, your core aesthetic, and what encompasses your daily routine, and then choose your stickers from there. I'm a huge fan of functional stickers. I think if used the right way, they can really benefit most planning routines. However, they are not for everyone. If you're not a fan of using stickers in your planner, a great alternative are dot markers. I've talked about these in a few videos, but these are a great way to add the feel of a dot sticker without having to actually use a sticker. They come in a ton of different colors, and even the darkest colors don't cover the text, so you can mark dates on your calendars or any other area that you need to. One thing I've noticed with these is that they do tend to bleed through paper. I've used them on 32-pound paper and still had some bleed through, so just something to note. Another alternative is to use highlighters. These are my favorites. Similar to the dot markers, they come in a lot of different colors. This particular one has a highlighter on one end and a marker on the other, so you can highlight the date on your calendar and then use the marker to write in any detail if you like to color code. I also like to use stencils every now and then. You can find them with just about every symbol and shape that you could want, and they're of course reusable, so you don't need to repurchase. Along that same line, you can use stamps as well. You will have to purchase additional ink if yours runs out, but the ink tends to last a really long time, and they come in some really awesome colors too. And then of course you can always just use colored pens or the main pen that you write with. That's what I use to mark my everyday meetings. I make a bullet point for those. I draw a checkbox for to-dos. You can do something similar or draw your own shapes instead. So we've talked about functional stickers, but what about decorative stickers? Where do those fall in, and do they have a place in functional planning? Well, the short answer to that is yes, they absolutely do. I think the main challenge with decorative stickers in functional planners is using them in a way that enhances the functionality of your planner instead of hindering it. So decorative stickers can range from being purely decorative with minimal functional use, for example, these flowers here, moderately decorative with moderate functional use, so something like these appointment stickers or graph memo stickers, or they can be mildly decorative with high functional use. And this would be things like your checklists, activity blocks, or blank stickers with minimal design, but that may have bright or distinct colors. As a functional planner, the idea is to get straight to the point. During my workday, I want to turn to the page I need, find the information I'm looking for, laid out in a way that makes it easy for me to move from task to task. Using functional stickers like the ones I've mentioned make that process so much easier. However, decorative stickers can unfortunately make that process more difficult. So first, let's talk about the first type, which is purely decorative. While these are great for notebooks and journaling, they don't have a purpose in a functional planning routine. They don't add any efficiency to your time blocks, they don't give you an extra surface to write, and they tend to have a lot of color, which depending on your aesthetic, could be very distracting. If you have a lot of these and you want to use them in your daily schedule, I would limit it to smaller stickers and maybe only use them in areas where you wouldn't typically write, so maybe your page border or corners of your page. Another way that you can use these on your main spreads could be for like holidays or other special occasions. Maybe you want to put a heart for Valentine's Day or pumpkins for Halloween or something, but other than that, I don't see these adding any benefit to your routine and can ultimately cause your system to become ineffective if you're using this method extensively in your main schedule. The second type are moderately decorative but still serve a functional purpose. So again, depending on your aesthetic, these can fit into a functional routine if used in the right way. So for example, one sticker that I see a lot are text stickers, but with a lot of design and color. I think these could be fantastic, especially if it's an activity that you're building up or that's the main focus for you for the year. So looking at these fitness stickers, for example, these are clearly decorative, but they also have a clear functional purpose, marking what days you plan to do cardio and strength training. Another example of this could be decorative icon stickers. So these serve the same purpose as your functional icon stickers, but tend to be a lot more colorful, sometimes multicolored, and have a bit more design in them as well. The third type are mildly decorative and highly functional. So these could be your checklist stickers or page flags or shapes with decorative elements, but that allow you to place on a part of your page to highlight an event or to do for that day or week. Erin Condren has a lot of stickers that fall into this category, and I think it could be a really great option for those who do want to add a bit more color and texture to their spreads. As you can see, there's so many different types of decorative stickers, and most of the ones that you see here, you can make work for you if you'd like. Just remember that less is always more when it comes to planning with intention. There is one type of decorative sticker that I include as an outlier and gets a free pass in my book, and that is stickers with motivational quotes or quotes that make you smile. Even though those may not meet the criteria on the functional planner checklist, I can't think of any method more efficient than starting your day with a positive message or affirmation. It just puts you in the right frame of mind and helps get you mentally prepared to take on the day. It's also the reason why I love journaling cards and dashboards so much. It's an instant mood booster for me to sit down at my desk and open my agenda to a motivating message and really helps set the tone for the rest of my day. Deciding if using stickers are right for you will ultimately come down to personal preference. I think it's an excellent tool to help you stay organized and make sure that you're meeting all of your deadlines and priorities. That being said, it can be expensive and a bit overwhelming if you're changing your current planner system or if you're just starting out. If you're struggling to structure your layouts and organize your tasks, I would definitely recommend that you give functional stickers a try. I think it would also be a good option if you like playing around with design elements and like the look of stickers. But if you're not a fan of stickers or you don't want to use anything accessory-wise in your agenda, there's quite a few alternatives that'll give you that same effect. My favorite are dot markers and highlighters, but at the end of the day, you can have a planner that is 100% functional with just your pen and a little creativity. And that wraps up my functional sticker breakdown. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot and it gives me better insight into the types of videos that you all want to see. If you're new to the planner community, there's a lot of inspo out there to help you navigate and decipher some of the confusion that can sometimes pop up when discussing productivity in general. I'm currently working on a Planning for Beginners series, so make sure to follow me on Insta to be the first to hear more about those videos, planner tips, and freebies. Sending positive vibes your way. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.